All right, guys. So I just recorded this game. You don't get to get my live reaction because my dumbass forgot to turn his microphone on. So I was muted the whole time. So that's actually good for you guys because you can get a 14-minute game in less than that. So let's just kind of go right into it. I'm actually just gonna do next play and just keep going here. So I put Macrocosmos in Lightsworns because I think it's funny. I kind of wanted to see like how it would go. So the goal of the deck essentially is if you have a Banisher or a Macrocosmos up, you can normal summon Tour Guide and get Gren Maju and then detach Gren Maju and target itself as long as you have another banished guy here. So the deck kind of revolves around that sort of thing. So you're going to see the Maju. So I'm going to take Tour Guide. I probably should have taken Gren Maju, to be honest with you. Like thinking about it now, like even like in the game, I was like, this is probably incorrect because if this gets responded to, I would like something that isn't susceptible to Valor, like this here. So that kind of sucks. Also, drawing Necroface isn't what you're hoping for. You typically want to hit it off Gold Sark, but DB algorithm likes to give you your 1 of before your 2 of. That's just kind of how it works. I don't think I actually saw Gold Sark before I saw Necroface in any of the games that I've played. It also kills hand traps and stuff like Banisher, so now I can get Max Seed. I am going to... I'll actually show both hands. Why not? I actually am going to go ahead and make the Leviathan Dragon because I just don't think it's worth the minus because I need to be able to set Macrocosmos here. It is weird to see. So this isn't like a Lightsworn deck. It's typically like, it looks like Chaos Sworn, so it's just like kind of turboing into the Chaos monsters. Like I said, I needed to protect macro. It's odd to see MST because typically you pick either Lila or MST. So seeing both in this list definitely does hurt me, but the overall goal of the deck I have an advantage in, if that makes sense. So I was contemplating here between attacking this Raikou with Aaron, and I knew it would trigger. So I think just trying to dig for a banish card makes sense. Typically, you can activate Solar Recharge under macro. And under Defissure and whatever. It just says discard, unlike Charge, which says send to the graveyard. So you can't activate Charge, so we don't play Charge, but you can activate Recharge, which is if you have a Macro or Banisher up, these 2 cards get banished and the other 2 cards, so you have 4 more cards for Grand Maju, which is 1600 attack, like right away. So we're just going to keep trying to dig for that Macro card. So I am going to Gold Sark. I have the Necroface in my hand, which is, again, is 5 cards, so it's 2k for... 2k for him right away, along with the Necroface itself, so it's 6 cards. But we're just going to go straight for Gren Maju here, just because I feel like we have enough guys. And we could Tour Guide and Levier for it if we really want to, which is perfectly fine. So that's another logical reason here. I had to play around it where I was like, okay, I'll just kill it and then set Raikou. So that way, if because he has a lot of cards in hand, if he makes like a large push, I'm still able to activate Dark Hole and then clear that out. This is probably the worst response for us, unfortunately. It's cool to see the Plan Engine in there as well, by the way. So this is like the worst summon for us because it's just, you're going to get a free draw. Drawing the Bulb kind of sucks though, but that's just kind of the nature of playing that deck. So DDR is kind of interesting because we're going to try and get our opponent at low life. So being able to Tour Guide for... because we know they're getting Chaos Sorcerer next turn. So I'm thinking, okay, if I summon a Gren Maju, that might be big enough. It's not going to be, unfortunately, to be big enough to, like, they have to banish it. So I don't think I actually made the correct play here. But I was trying to push for damage because I knew that I could Dark Hole and then DDR, discard whatever I draw, get a monster, and then still put damage out on board. So I knew I was able to still, like wind the clock down a little bit and just like be aggro. This is kind of an aggro deck that happens to play cards that prevent your opponent from playing. So it's a little bit of both. It's not a very good deck, but like when you have all your stuff up, they can't banish or anything like that. So this does 38 damage. So it does allow certain like thresholds of like damage with Necroface and other things like that. So getting the Chaos Sorcerer here, obviously summoning it. So then with the Tour Guide here, so I personally thought we were going to see Tour Tour Guide into Leviair, into Valor, into Arcanite to play around like a potential, I don't know, like a drag play or something, because there's no way this deck plays Scores. But I do run Battle Fader. I don't think I run Drag, but I do run Battle Fader. So banishing the Leviair makes the most sense because now I don't have the ability to summon a Grand Maju. But that's fine. So now I take 78. So now I have Dark Hole. And then that does allow us to get to that threshold that I was talking about. So you can essentially DDR, discard Raikou, get back Jane, and then normal summon Necroface, and which if you don't know what Necroface does, it puts all of it back and gains 100. So it would gain 700 attack points. So 19, 18 is 37, which is enough for game here in order to clear everything. So that's kind of how the deck works. I don't think it's very good. But it is kind of funny. I've been trying to experiment more and more with Macrocosmos and Tengu plant format. I want to see what decks can utilize the card and in just funny ways. And Grand Maju is a funny card in the fact that it's a level 3 fiend, so you could summon it off Tour Guide. It's jank, but it's fun. If you have any improvements to the deck, I'd love to see them. But thanks for watching, guys.